East Killarney Court, Wichita 67206. My husband Mike and I have 3 children in Andover schools, a freshman and a sophomore at Andover High and a 4th grader at Wheatland. She's 9, FYI. First, I want to thank you. I firmly believe in community service, and I know that most of the time it is a thankless position. While we may disagree on some points, I do appreciate your willingness to serve, along with your and your family's efforts to deal with the stress that you most surely bring home, so thank you. Second, I want to encourage you not to think of me as an anti-mask person. I would never ever tell someone that they should not wear a mask. It's not my place. I am a pro-parent choice advocate, as are many of the people behind me. At the last board meeting, when one of you held up a stack of emails she'd received from the pro-mask people and the other from the anti-mask people, my heart sank. The national media has done a wonderful job of demeaning those who feel that their parental choices are being stripped away by school boards and city commissioners, and I was sad to hear you think of us that way. I am pro-parent choice, and that is why I'm here tonight. Now, a couple of definitions for you. I'm sure you've heard the term bodily autonomy, which is defined broadly as the concept that an individual solely has the right to control his or her body and what happens to it. You probably recognize the saying, my body, my choice, right? Another term is consent, which can be defined as to permit, approve, or agree. Since our children were little, Mike and I have always taught them that their bodies are their bodies. No one has a right to touch them, hug them, hold their hands without their agreeing to it. Not a doctor, not a teacher, not a friend, not even their grandma. Yet now you are making them submit to wearing something on their face because a school board, not a healthcare provider, not their parents, told them to. Despite the 99.995% survival rate among children aged 0 to 17, despite whatever they feel about the mask being on their face, you have obliterated their concept of bodily autonomy and consent. 2 of my kids have sensory issues with material. A rough tag or a seam unnerves them and makes them feel frustrated until I remove it. If you've never heard of the highly sensitive child by Elaine Aaron, look it up. My oldest has asthma and literally feels she cannot take a breath in a mask, and afterwards feels anxious, dizzy, and has a headache after being forced to wear one. So while all the medical experts you had speak at last month's meeting say there is no hardship for children who have to wear a mask, I completely disagree. Children are not little adults, and there is harm being done to them. You don't know my kids or what wearing masks does to them. When the mandates come for the older kids too, just know you are going against years of my telling my girls that they don't ever have to do anything with their bodies that they don't approve of. You're telling my son that it's okay to go against his own convictions when it comes to his body. Regarding consent, I do not consent to what you've mandated. We elected you to oversee their education, not their health. That is my job. I have sent all of you the data regarding children, but I don't think data or facts matter to you. Most of you have never emailed me back. That's why I sent you the video of my daughter after I told her that she'd have to wear a mask, because I wanted you to see what so many of us had to see after that last meeting. I don't expect my kids not to get sick, whether it's a cold, the flu, or coronavirus. My kids are in school 35% of the week. 20% of the week. The other 80% of the week, they're at their friends' houses, they're at dance practice, at Aviate. I honestly don't understand how you think the 20% or the 35 hours they're at school is going to have a meaningful outcome in terms of their getting sick or not getting sick. At Meet Your Teacher Night, you said nearly all the parents and children you saw were not wearing masks. We see you around town, we see you at the football game, at the store. What are most people doing? They're not wearing masks, right? So you make us out to be the selfish weirdos who don't believe in science. So I guess most people around town must be selfish weirdos because they're not wearing masks. It's not right. This isn't about the mask. This is about you overriding parental consent. If my child needed to wear a mask, but you told me I could not let them wear a mask, I would be just as outraged as I am now. So it's not about the mask. The mask is a symptom. And I don't want this to be us versus you. I really don't. COVID is endemic. It's here to stay. I don't know how many more of these conversations you all want to have. We all need to find practical ways to pull together in the same direction for our children. And remember, at no time in history have the people forcing others into compliance been the good guys? Please think about that. Thank you.